Devil's Den Radio. I'm your host, DevilJon. As usual, I have some hippies. My beautiful Hippie Soul.
Hey guys.
And Hippie Mike.
Hey man, what's up? And Hippie Soul, how we doing?
Alright, how are you?
Yeah.
Man and woman, ladies
right.
and gents.
Yeah, and like we're full representation this week. You know, last week we it was like boys' night. It kind of, you know, even though there's usually the one female dynamic, but yeah, unfortunately, Mrs. Hippie,
She was having
no goes with any of it, and she was yeah, but it was funny because there was like a lot of and when I listen back, which you'll be able to now on Spotify, iTunes, and all those wonderful platforms. Please share the show. Please share. But you'll get to hear that conversation that we had last week. This week. Ha 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 ha. But I don't know. What do you... We'll have a vote eventually, because I think the week delay on it sounds pretty good. But then again, maybe we should just send it right back out like we used to, because it was...
Just put it up there.
Yeah. Just out there real quick. Shout out Slumpkin King there. But also, let's just pay some bills real quick. Why don't you? When you hear... See? When you hear the Slumpkin King, and you know what to do. But when you hear this sound right here, you need to go click the links and check out one of those wonderful providers, like, you know, what, Birdie Juice, we got fucking tons of people, man. FNXFit, get your body, bruh. Get your body right, bruh. Bruh. That's for everybody, bruh. Because bra is like universal, brah. So take a hit, brah. Yeah, no, it's also a drinking game, smoking game, whatever you want. I don't give a shit.
There you go.
But drink, smoke, whatever you do it responsibly. But have fun. Because this ride, known as Devil's Den Radio, can get fucking wild.
Little
wet,
weird.
A little wet and wild. But, you know, what fun is a dry slip and slide, man? You gotta get that shit wet.
You're gonna get rug burn.
Hell yeah, I don't want no dang rug burn. Come on now.
Skin your knees.
Skin your knees, man. It hurts.
And your elbows.
Stupid!
Check your links.
Check them. Oh, man. Yes, Justice over here like, it's like, This is not what I signed up for.
This is just gonna be a repeat of last week then.
Yeah, right?
Except now it's Jess.
Yeah,
We're just
like,
talking and she's just like, what the fuck?
Just remember, when you hear that sound,
Check the link.
it's a reminder to click the links. And you're going to hear, so because like in that episode, I even like in the playback, I've chuckled, you know, because I'm like, oh shit, like check the links. and even you have gotten good on that quick drawl too, where it was just like, yep, check the link.
It's a lot easier to do.
Yeah, check the links. Yeah, right? Then like sitting there and then plugging everything. Yeah. Oh, jeez. You know, so if there's new sponsors out there, though, you know, let us know over at devilsdenradio.com. There's tons of areas where you can contact us. So, you know, just go there, devilsdenradio.com. There's merch, there's things. Which
And coupons.
Which, speaking of, there is patreon.com/devilsdenradio, where you can take stock in the show, you know, to get those special shout-outs, get special tracks released to you prior to the public, because, you know, you got to hear the space shit, man. Like, you got to hear my space jams, bro. Toilet jamming in space, bro. Shitting in space. What?
I remember.
That's really far out. But like, it was
How
like
come Uranus isn't in some kind of? Is Uranus mentioned at all? This
No,
album?
you gotta. No, you can't just go right in for Uranus. All right, you gotta like ease into Uranus.
Okay.
All right, so the second one's gonna
Apparently,
cover.
I'm not skilled at
Yeah.
accessing Uranus.
No, you have to. It's always like the first try is like just a tease of the Uranus. Like it's like he's gonna make that drop. Yep, any minute
He's going for it.
He's gonna go for. Oh no, he didn't.
He was
No,
unprepared.
he was nope. He
He didn't think that through.
He didn't go for it.
It's too much heart, not enough head.
Oh my god, you made it worse.
Oh shit! But shout out to Shane, VeganJosh, and Mary, the big three. You know what I mean? Like that's what in the metal world, where the big three. You know who the big three were? Because there were bands
In the metal world, let me
yes.
guess. Pantera. Okay, no, Iron Maiden, Metallica.
I wish it, but like like Metallica was one, yeah. So you
Okay.
got one
right.
out of the three there.
All right, I gotta dial it in to like a decade. Is it like pre-90s?
Yeah.
90 and before? Are any of the bands 90 and before?
Well,
Okay, Metallica's one. I know that. So let me use that as a basis. Tool?
no,
That-
but
no.
it's technically the big four. But I like to leave one of them out purposely.
Slayer?
Yes,
Megadeth?
yes.
I can get it. Because I've heard of them. I probably have heard of them.
And if you
Anthrax.
want, yes,
Y-
actually,
Yeah!
I was like, get the fuck out of here. He's not gonna get the big four. But the big four, because honestly, out of those bands, there's only three active. So that's why I'm saying it's technically only the big three now because Slayer's no longer playing.
Are they all alive, though?
Yeah, they're well, what's remaining of the members, yeah.
So not all of them are alive.
Well, Jeff Hanneman, the one guitar player,
Did he
did
die a long time ago, though?
He died a long time ago.
Did
yeah.
they replace
And
him?
Well, Gary Holt of Exodus was filling in for him.
I remember
So-
Exodus. Wasn't Kirk Hammett in Exodus?
Correct.
I
And then
see.
Kurt Hammett went to Metallica. Yeah, man. So, talk about the circle jerking of the big four there of like people just using the same people. I'm just kidding. It's not like meaning like circle jerking, like them. Circle
Well,
jerking
definitely
off.
not Metallica and Megadeth, that's for sure.
No, but Gary Holt, in Exodus should have been in that mix for sure. Like Anthrax is a good band, and and I'm not gonna, dismiss any of that.
Wasn't
because,
Exodus more
'cause-
thrash?
Correct.
See? I know something. I know a
Yes.
little something.
Yeah, I love Exodus, but he got to play in fucking Slayer, so obviously he was good enough to be in a big four band.
Mm-hmm.
So never mind. I'm not even gonna get into it. But what I am gonna get into is our little segment that we've been trying to fill in this graph. All right, of hippie and metal. It's like where, like, it's a journey that most people would think it's impossible. How do you get a hippie?
I got one for you.
And I got one too. But what? I want to hear yours now.
It's not a Fish song.
It's not a Fish
It's
song.
a Grateful Dead song. And you'll like the title of it. It's called Slipknot. Now, it comes in a lot of them. It's like a song called Help on the Way, into Slipknot, into Franklin's Tower. That's really how you want to listen to it. But I would say at least do Slipknot into Franklin's Tower. Because Slipknot itself is not a long song. It's more of a instrumental. But that's where I think all you got to do is think of it. Think of this like with a lot of distortion.
waits on the crest of a wave range.
How long is this? How long is this? Because the part I want you to hear doesn't come for a while.
18 minutes?
Ooh, can you find a shorter version? Or if you can fast forward, I'll find a good spot. No, this is good, right here. No, that last one. Okay. Yeah, this is good. This is coming out of the Help on the Way jam. Probably into Slipknot and...
Oh man, I thought I flopped it.
I saw it coming, but I couldn't get my arm out in time.
I wish I had had the camera working.
Still waiting for the jam to end. This is still part of the jam. There's more of an arranged part that's coming up. What year is this from?
89, 90.
I think they had, if they had Brent in there at this time, he was one of my favorites. As a keyboard, Brent was one of the keyboard players. They went through, they had a whole bunch of them. They kept dying.
You don't say.
Well, not all of them. The first one did, and then they just couldn't find a real good one. I'm gonna stop talking. And then the classic Franklin's Tower. You don't have to listen to this.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'm just saying, like, yeah.
Grateful Dead music isn't really like blow your mind stuff. It's just kind of like settle in and let's take you for a journey. So if you take a clip of a song, you're not really seeing how you got there. You know what I mean? So really, you got to kind of start from scratch and listen the whole way through. But I wasn't gonna make you do all of that. You got to do it on your own. You got to want to do it.
You gotta want to do it. Well, yeah. I don't know. There was like a few things for sure that like I'm like, yeah, that's good. But it's like
They use some scales that use similar note choices.
some of the stuff is pretty noodly for sure.
Oh, it's very noodly. That's kind of a signature Grateful Dead jam style. They were very noodly. The Grateful Dead are revered as the best because they were the first. Do you know about the acid tests back in the 60s?
Of course.
You know who the house band was?
Warlocks.
Yes.
Check the links.
The Warlocks, who went on to become the Grateful Dead.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? Every single member of the Grateful Dead.
I just knew who the Warlocks were.
Yeah.
I pulled that information out of my asshole.
It was basically, if I'm not mistaken, it was
Totally fucking with you.
It was everybody except for
I
Bob.
watched a lot of documentaries on this stuff.
So you know.
I watched The Strange Trip too.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a great one. That tells the whole story.
I know.
Okay.
So it's kind of weird, because it's kind of Bob weird.
From his perspective, but he had an interesting introduction to the.
Yeah, that's
Grateful
what I
Dead.
mean.
It was through the acid tests, but Jerry. That's not entirely true.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Just watch the documentary.
I'm gonna mess the story up.
I was gonna say watch that. It's a good watch.
Great.
You know
great
what I mean? Like
documentary.
even for somebody that's not a Grateful Dead fan,
Mhm.
it is definitely an interesting movie to watch because it's like a true story, and that's like.
Mhm.
When you watch some of those, not some, but most Hollywood films, even the true story ones, so fabricated with shit that it's like, we gotta fucking bump this up. Like you didn't smoke crack at least once. Come on, man. We need you to be at rock bottom at some point in this story. Come on.
Grateful Dead. They had Hell's Angels, where they're basically their security. When they
Which is
needed.
not bad security to have.
Exactly. They weren't a threat to each other. They were all there to have a good time. And they helped them get their drugs. And it was, I don't know. It was a good time had by all.
Drugs.
Yeah.
Well, I
It's
was
the
going to
60s,
say, you
man.
could definitely trace back, we know somebody that purposely just followed the dead for that reason, so yeah. What?
I mean, it's
And
tour,
and that's
you know?
and I was schooled on what the hell a Shakedown Street was.
Oh, you didn't know about Shakedown Street?
I was like, well, obviously, but then I've never been to a fucking show, so yeah.
Oh, it's intense.
So yeah, it's like it's what I hear say, obviously, but obviously what I've gathered, it's a free market of freeness.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, that's exactly. That's a great way to describe it. It's a free market of freeness because it's anything and everything. You can get yourself a heady beer, some cheese, grilled cheese on lot. What else? Some nitrous from the Nitrous Mafia.
You definitely got to get some nitrous, man.
Did I tell you about the Nitrous Mafia?
It helps with the altitude acclimation.
Yeah. Sure. Oh, yeah. Kind of. Did I tell you about the Nitrous Mafia, though?
No.
That it's a real thing. They're a very elaborate group of individuals.
Obviously, if they're mafia.
They show up at every show, basically, and they have a network of people set up with walkie-talkies, obviously looking out for cops and stuff like that. But they're in the crowd, and they have the tanks in, like, a dude's backpack or something. And, like, he'll just drop the backpack and just start, like, just offering out, like, what is it, like 5 for 20, something like that. And I saw it happen right in front of me. This is how I know what they do. I was just walking back to my car, and I heard somebody walking by with, like, a radio. And I'm like, there are no cops around here. So I'm like, that's the sound of a fucking tank. So I know, like, they're around. It's around me. And then all of a sudden, I see the guy with the tank. I saw another guy run up to the guy who was filling the balloons, just walk up to him and take the bag and walk away. The guy with the doing the balloons didn't fight him at all. He just went the other direction. So I figured out that was their plan. If there was, like, it was danger, another guy would come, because you didn't see the guy pick the bag up. It was sitting on the ground. So he just kind of walked through the middle of the huddle and took it with him as he, like, walked through. And then next thing you know, the guy with the balloons is gone. The bag is gone. What the fuck just happened? I can't find anybody. And I was like, that was smart. I'm like, I said to Bonnie, I'm like, do you see what just happened there? I'm like, the guy took the bag that way, and the other guy went that way, and, like, the guy in the radio told him. It was awesome. But anyway, they don't fuck around.
Yeah. Well, that's I was gonna say that's a well organized transaction that you just put on blast.
Well.
I was like, I'm gonna say, wow, that is really smart.
It is really smart, but I don't think you're going to be able to catch them doing it. That's the thing. It's that smart. I'm just digging my hole deeper, aren't I?
I was going to say, until you get that CB radio in there.
That's true.
And get in that frequency.
That's true. That plain clothes. Infiltrate the nitrous mafia.
We took out the nitrous mafia.
That's right. We confiscated 1 tank of nitrous. Street value. I don't know.
$300.
$300. Stay in school, kids.
These druggies will not be able to get you now because we are out here patrolling these streets.
I've also seen it where a guy has, like, an air hose, like a long air hose, like 100 feet. So he's nowhere near the tank.
The tank? Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I've never done that. So I will say that's something that, like, I've been pretty open on this show about what I do. But never fucked with that. Just because, like, I've seen other people and basically all I've understood is that, like, their voice goes, like, really fucking deep. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, yo,
in your head,
awesome, bro.
Your head starts pulsing.
Ew.
And you feel it in your eardrums. So it's just like, kind of. So, like, that was a bad example.
Like
but
a subwoofer?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's not something I'm into.
But it's laughing gas. So you're laughing. You are laughing. It's like 30 seconds of pure bliss, basically.
Well, I've had laughing gas.
But
I don't know how blissful I was.
If you do too much of it, like, obviously the more you do it, the less
effect.
Yeah, it's not going to be like that. It lasts such a short amount of time. It's so great the first time. So you immediately do another one, maybe 2. So I used to get the little cartridges, used to crack 2 of them in a balloon, then take a bong hit, blow that in there, and then do the whip it. Yeah, I was not a smart kid. Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I've done... Yeah, I can't believe I just admitted to that on the show, but...
I was going to say, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, I already did, so might as well go all in, huh? Well, at least about this.
Well,
I've done some whippets.
Yeah, you didn't go tip this time. No tip this time.
No
you were
lube.
like balls. No lube either.
No lube, just
Oh
right
my
in.
God. Oh, yeah.
Yep. Check the link. That's right.
Oh my goodness, that was
Don't
perfect.
do whippets, check
Yeah.
the link.
Check the link.
Well, I mean, you could buy them in the right places.
You can
Oh
get
yeah,
them at
most
almost
definitely.
any
Yeah, I was gonna
shop.
say. Yeah,
I had a roommate once that worked at Starbucks, and they had them for the fucking whipped cream that they
Yeah.
made. So
Yo, homemade whipped cream though
Yeah.
is so fucking good.
it really was. But you know what's even better?
Whippets, probably.
Whippets.
Bong whippets.
Bong whippets. Yeah, it was nuts.
Yo, I had a roommate
Mhm.
in which anytime I would buy whipped cream,
Oh yeah, you could do that too. I had a story about that.
anytime I had whipped cream, do you know what I ended up always having?
Oh, I think we were going different places.
Whipped drippings.
Oh yeah.
Because of all the nitrous that was just sucked out of it.
That's not nitrous. That is aerosol.
Yeah, so well, they're dumb.
Yeah. So,
Same person also huffed a duster
yeah.
and then licked my knee, which was weird because they fell down and like fell like basically like almost like across like where like how you all are sitting right now across from each other and fell down, and then like I was like what the fuck, and I had Big Bertha the bong in my hand and I'm like you're gonna break this shit, no. And then I'm trying to put that over there, and then in the midst of that, lick. I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, and
That's fucked up.
I was
That's
like,
weird.
"What the fuck, man?"
So one time when I was in basic training.
And that's how we transition.
I was in basic training, and we were about maybe 3 or 4 weeks in, and we all start, really talking about, man, I miss partying. I miss like being drunk and going out and like having a good time, and like, yeah. By this time, I dabbled with like psychedelics. I'm like, oh man, mushrooms, like the whole nine. Like, I just want to be like out of my head space and like not in.
Not here.
Yeah. So I was talking about whippets, and then it kind of clicked. I'm like, you could fucking do whippets with Glade, with the aerosol can. And they sell that shit at the PX. So I could buy that and just like basically huff and get high. I'm like, this is what I'm going to do. All right. So
God.
I had in my wall locker, I had a dresser, a little drawer thing. The bottom drawer, if I pulled it all the way out, it was a gap, maybe about 2 inches high. I could like put like on their sides probably about 8 or 10 cans of Glade underneath the drawer and still be able to use the drawer, no problem. You couldn't see it. So I used to hide them in there and sell them. I used to sell hits for like in prison, you know what I mean? It was like prison style where like people would come to me with like other contraband, because we called it contraband, like a honey bun from the fucking chow hall or whatever.
Or soups. Did you get? Did you go to the soup level?
This story, let me tell the whole thing because
All right,
it's
because-
no, I'm not
man.
saying don't interrupt me. I'm just saying this story is going to get longer because of all the details you're reminding me of.
Oh,
Anyway.
shit. Oh no.
So yeah, it was like
We've opened Pandora's box.
it was like prison rules, I guess, prison style. So Polaroid cameras. We weren't allowed to have cameras, but we wanted to send pictures home to our girlfriends and our families and like, look at what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I'm shooting guns, driving tanks and shit like that. So people would come up to me, offer me all kinds of shit for a hit of like a couple hits of Glade. And we would take a towel, put it over the can, you fold it a couple times. And then basically just hit the button and just breathe in. And same thing as like a nitrous. It's similar, but the aerosol is not good, man. That shit is not good to your brain. But it was all we had. So I became quite popular for that in the battalion. People were coming from all over the place. It was really
Don't
weird.
you wish you could just smoke a joint?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Like, it'd be much easier if we could just smoke a joint. Just let us smoke a fucking joint or have a beer. But
I would prefer the joint.
so I acquired a lot of this contraband. I usually consumed most of it and got rid of the evidence. You know, I didn't stash anything, but I had at one point a honey bun that I had like sitting in my locker, and it was on the top shelf. And the drill sergeants would do these impromptu like locker inspections, and sure enough, this was one of the days. Just they're Oh, you know what it was? We came back from the range, and there was a rumor that going around that somebody had a live round with them. And that's a big, big no-no. Like, you know, you leave all live rounds, your weapon, everything. You don't come back from the range with anything that is used at the range. So they were going to, like, search everyone's locker until they found it. They were specifically looking for contraband. Now, you're supposed to have your locker in a specific order all the time. So anything out of order, they're going to look for it. Anyway, so my honey bun was underneath one of my other covers, but a hat that I wasn't wearing that day. And I knew I was going to get busted. Just knew it. They were going to find it. I'm not going to fight it. I'll take my punishment. Whatever. I can do push-ups. But anyway.
For a fucking honey bun?
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
So they get to my room. There's maybe about 6 beds in a room with our lockers and shit. It wasn't a bad setup. No bunk beds or anything like that. So they're checking all the lockers. The drill sergeant gets to my locker. Is reaching in, is rifling through. He could pull the bottom drawer out. He wouldn't find the... he would just look and see that my socks are folded right. You know, and then put the drawer back. But he was going to, like, see what's up in that top shelf. He would have moved the hat, found honey bun. I'd have been fucked. Right as he was, like, going up to, like, look up the top shelf, the other drill sergeant from another room shouted, like, this really weird yell, and he called over for the drill sergeant who was in my room. So the guy just, like, stopped and, like, walked away. He was, like, this close to, like, catching my honey bun. He never got it. But what happened was, the reason why he got called over is because one guy's locker was so messy, they actually tipped it over and just spilled everything on the ground. When they did that, they found a pile of dried white human shit. Like, this guy was shitting himself, like, every day and just, like, shaking it out behind his locker every night.
What the
And
fuck?
this guy never showered. We all thought he was just, like, too scared to take a shower with other guys, something like that. But he started, like, getting a fungus, like, around his mouth and stuff. Like, it was fucking gross. The guy smelled so bad. And everybody in his room fucking hated living around him. And when they found this shit, literally shit, they didn't know what it was at first. One drill sergeant picked it up. And it's like white. It looked like, you know, the reindeer poop, you know, the checks with the sugar on it. It looked like that. And then he's like looking at it. He gets it real close to his face.
Oh, ew.
And then it all of a sudden dawns. Like, he's like, that's poop. And he just, like, throws it at the guy. And then he's like, well, I already had my hands on it. So he picks up more and he starts throwing the guy's shit at him. It was like,
my God.
oh, dude, it was so fucking fun. And I'm across the hallway just watching this, half relieved because I didn't get in trouble. But, like,
Saved by some
what the
dude's
fuck is
actual
happening
shit.
over there?
Saved by the foulness of this
Yeah.
asshole.
It's hard.
Yo, I got something for that ass. All right.
Okay, all right.
Toilet paper is good, but water is much better idea. Use water each and every time you wash your ass. A clean asshole is good for you,
Yes.
good for your well-being,
It is.
good for your soul,
Truth.
and good
Facts.
for each and everybody who is coming into close proximity with your ass.
Yep.
Wash your ass every day.
Watch it.
Make washing your ass an act of devotion.
I mean,
and a gift to your
how
body.
do you not? It
Life
gets all
is
itchy
too
and
short
shit.
to walk this earth
You
for a
gotta
crusty
wipe that
asshole.
shit right.
So wash your ass.
Yes, wash your ass.
Wash your ass.
Wash your ass.
That guy wound up doing like 2 tours in Iraq. By the way, that's
The
how this
crazy
story
shit
ends.
monster?
That guy. I remember the day we all got our orders, and we didn't know where we were going. I was National Guard, so I kind of knew that I was going home. But my unit did have, you know, there were plans for them, so I wasn't exactly thrilled. But anyway, we knew that there were a few tank units in other I'm blanking on the words, but stations, you know, around the country, army stations. We knew some of them had orders to go to Iraq. This guy was being linked up with one of those units. So he was basically found. I watched him find out he was going to Iraq, and I saw the look on his face, and I wanted to cry for him. I felt so bad. That dude did not fucking belong in a tank in fucking Iraq in like a combat situation. He was not the kind of guy you wanted in that situation. You didn't want that guy protecting you. Let's put it that way. Anyway, I decided to look him up maybe about 3 or 4 years ago. And that's when I found there was a paper written about him from his like local hometown. I knew what state he was from, and he had a name that was really unique. So I was able to pretty much dial in on it quick. Turns out he did 2 different tours. He served his full 8-year contract, and I got to tip my hat to him. He did not turn out how I thought he was going to, but man, that dude was weird. Whew. Yeah, anyway.
Shit behind his locker.
I can't believe that.
How does
He had this guy was so stereotypical. He had a speech impediment. He had these big ass fucking glasses. You know when you see in like movies that are kind of spoof like movies that have military in it, there's always one guy that's got these Coke bottle glasses, you know. That guy to a fucking T. Like every characteristic just weird. Oh yeah. He had weird looking ears, you know, the whole 9, everything. But
Did you see that guy's balls?
No, because he never got in the shower.
They're weird looking.
See, I have terrible vision, and I had to wear the army issued glasses, which I took off in the shower. So I had an excuse. I didn't see anybody's fucking dicks. But yes, I showered with a bunch of dudes every day. Anyway,
Do you want to talk about it?
No.
Like, anymore?
Just saying. And
Like it's the expression of saying, "Do you want to talk about it?" Kind of goes oversaid at this point.
well, I think I did talk about the fact that other dude didn't.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. I think you did a really good job describing that he didn't do that. Indeed.
Yeah.
To the next degree of stench that. But you have to be crafty to hide shit for that long.
But just imagine.
Just flush it though.
Why don't just go take a shit? But I was thinking that we were out in the field doing something, some kind of activity. When you have to shit, basically they're like, go shit in the woods. Wipe your ass with a leaf. Or you carry, they called them field wipes. It was baby wipes, just a little plastic camouflage decorative thing.
But why not?
It's a baby wipe.
It's a baby wipe.
Camouflage.
Like if you accidentally shit your pants though, like
Use the mic, please.
you use the wipies and like roll the turd into a toilet or something. Like don't save your poop.
Yeah. Well,
It
if you
doesn't make any
had
sense.
your camp set up, everybody had, we called it an entrenching tool. It was a
Well, yeah,
collapsible
you're
shovel.
supposed to
Dig a hole, but the entrenching tool, it's collapsible. There is a way to extend it fully, but then bend the shovel head all the way over, and then you use it as a seat, but only on one butt cheek. You only sit on one side. That way, the center of your butt is clear for the droppings. But you dig your hole, do your droppings,
That's ingenuitive.
cover your hole. So this is the kind of shit I learned in the army. Mm-hmm. Had a shit in a hole.
Had a shit in a hole.
Yep.
And shit with comfort.
Mm-hmm.
And work my core muscles.
That's right. Hanging off the back of a tank is great because you get the great. There's like a railing. Not really a railing. Well, it kind of is a railing that goes around, and you kind of like.
You sound like an old man. Like,
You just kind of lean over it, and you kind of prop it. You hang off it, and it's just it's more off the side. You don't want to be around the back of it. The exhaust is very, very hot. You can fry an egg on the back of a tank. So,
so that would really
it's the
burn
front of the
your
side.
ass.
Those are your only options.
Could really burn your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shitting in unusual places with Hippie.
Yeah.
I should write a book of all the places
Where
I've pooped.
else have you shit, Hippie?
Well, and to think that like the OG Slumpkin King,
I know. He hasn't
relinquished his title.
I don't think this is going to earn me the Slumpkin King title.
It's the
Back.
Poopin' King.
He's like the fucking like the world pooper. He's the guy shitting that toilet.
He's the cosmopolitan
I
shitter.
can vouch for that toilet.
That's
a good toilet.
When I went to was it South Africa? It's in the southern hemisphere.
So the water goes the opposite way, right?
I can't remember now if it actually did or not. I remember when I was in Europe and thinking that it would, and then it didn't, and I was like,
And you
"Oh,
were
that's because I'm in
disappointed.
Europe." But I actually don't remember what it did when I was over. I should have like cemented that memory in there.
When you were in Europe,
Nope.
were you a peon?
I was a peon.
You were a European.
Yeah. Hey.
Gotta
If
pay to
you're
use the bathrooms.
if you're an American when you went into the bathroom, and you're an American when you came out of the bathroom, what was you in the bathroom?
European.
European. That's pretty good. It's a little dad joke for everybody out
That
there.
is a good dad joke. I love a good dad joke.
Yeah, I don't know.
Here's one for you. You got to use this. You're a stepdad, so you could totally use dad jokes. You're allowed. Next time you're at a restaurant, they ask you, "Do you want it on the side?" You say, "No thanks. On the table is just fine." And then just wait. You'll probably get a similar laugh out of everyone, like, "Oh God, that okay." That's one of my favorites. I was a server at a restaurant. Someone did that to me. I was like,
that
"That was good.
perfect
That was good.
That is
on the table.
I
It's just fine.
appreciate it."
That's good. Thank you. You know, sometimes in the food industry, like there's like people that get it. You know what I mean? And they try to be well.
What do you mean, like servers or customers?
Well, right now, like eating out is like such a fucking like luxury that you like.
I don't wanna
It's
do
almost
it.
like it feels like it's like I'm going to the fine dining establishment known as
Yeah.
the BK Lounge.
No, I'll go to your counter and pick up my to-go order, but I don't need to sit down.
I don't even want to waste money paying for takeout anymore because half the time it sucks.
Yeah, it's very
I order from like the
disappointing.
same spot every time, just because it's pretty good.
Pretty good.
It's a good menu. They got a lot of different stuff, variety.
Good shit. But the inflations of things is getting fucking wild with certain things. Like if you went to the store
Supply
to go,
chain.
yeah, the supply chain stuff is gonna get fucked.
Yep, it's all
You know,
happening.
and it's happening. You know, so there's a lot of
There's a lot of shit going on right now. It's having a domino effect,
oh yeah,
and we're all really feeling it hard
oh yeah.
in a lot of different ways.
Which it's interesting because it's like, damn, the world is
A
changing.
vampire. Dun,
The
dun,
same
dun,
thing
dun,
popped
dun.
in my head.
Santa Dragon,
Dum, 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 dum.
secret destroyers,
Dum, 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 dum.
put you up in a plane.
What do you got? Yeah.
What do you got?
You know, Smashing Pumpkins didn't suck. They were a little
Even though
eccentric for me, but looking back,
oh my,
they did a lot of different things well. Gotta give them credit.
oh. Despite all my rage, I am still just rattling the cage. Some people say what is lost can never be saved.
I'm totally listening to Smashing Pumpkins on the way home.
You know, Smashing Pumpkins, yeah, I was gonna say Smashing Pumpkins is a fucking good group.
Zero.
I'm just really surprised because, like, I was like, man, I mentioned, like Red Hot Chili Peppers to you, which I figured I was
I don't
wow,
like Anthony
that-
Kiedis. I
You
don't
know
like
what?
Anthony. I love Flea.
What's the matter when you give it to your mama? Don't you? What
Shut
the
up.
fuck you could get it to your papa?
I don't care
I'm
about-
doing hand puppets with your mama and doing that.
And now he's got that stupid mustache.
And now I got that weird mustache like a papa.
Yeah.
I'm a minder. I'm a realizer. That mustache will never get with mama.
I don't know. I love Flea. I think he's the only reason
he's
why
pretty.
that band.
Chad's a pretty good drummer, man.
Is he though?
He
I think
holds
he's
it
good at
down.
what he does.
Exactly, he holds it in like his pocket.
But what?
But it's Frusciante though, and the colors that he brings into shit.
Yeah,
because
but
like
you know,
when they put Dave Navarro in that shit, which that was a whole.
But you know what? I had that album, and I kind of liked that album. It had a different flavor, and I think Dave Navarro brought a lot of different elements out of the other guys in the band.
Name another fucking song off that besides Aeroplane.
Fucking
wait.
P. Let's see, Walkabout.
P was actually a good song.
I'm a little P.
Oh, that was actually good. That was
Right?
good. That was good.
Yeah, Warped. That was the opening. I had that album. I know that album.
Because Jane's all right. So Jane's Addiction came to me late, and it's like, all right, I dig that now.
Perry Farrell's
You know,
weird,
you
though.
know. Yeah, exactly.
He's a little much for me.
Stop.
Yeah,
Anyway, because he has like it's just like.
but I like that kind of style funk.
Here
you
we
know what I
go.
mean? Yeah.
Go.
Look at him now, though. Ugh.
Ugh, drugs are bad. Anyway.
Porno for Pyros, remember that?
Yes. But the Melvins grew on me over time, which I don't expect you to be like, oh yeah, the Melvins.
No.
But the Melvins definitely was a group that I'm like, you know what? There's so many groups though that the Melvins have inspired that I liked. So that it's like, oh, okay, I get it now.
I do hear of the Melvins, and I know a lot of bands are inspired by them. I don't particularly.
It's experimental like stuff, for the
Yeah.
most part. Like,
I understand that I'm not the entire audience. I'm not the full spectrum of what an audience is. I have a limited taste in music. I'm aware of it.
man, I thought like hippies were like all free love and shit, man. That sounds segregist.
How? There's certain music I like more than others.
I'm just kidding. See, now you got really defensive as soon as I said
I'm a
segregist.
damn hippie.
I'm
I
a damn
swear.
hippie. I ain't no
Yeah.
damn segregist.
Well, I thought you were inferring that like
No.
music equals culture, and that would make me, you know what I mean?
Well, some of the hippie culture is very segregist.
There is an element to like some of the hippies that
Which, it was always off-putting to me because it was like, I'm kind of like a metal hippie kind of guy, but like not really into the hippie shit all completely. I just like kind of a la carted some of that shit, just like some of y'all's, a la carted some shit too. Like we all do that shit in life. We all a la carte what we want.
yeah, essentially to a degree. And check your link.
Check the link.
But when you're living in that environment, I think it's like in the grand scheme of your life, it's kind of you're only doing it for a few years. It's a flash in the pan, really. So you're trying it out. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of craziness though. But I was thinking about a lot of different phases because 7/10, is a
Couple weeks away.
few weeks, away, and we're gonna be eating tacos and
I love tacos.
yeah, so not this Sunday, but in 3 Sundays from now.
Oh, I have so much work to do.
We will be eating tacos with friends and family. And we'll hear some music. We can say that there will just be 2. Because of time. You know what I mean? So, like, yeah. 3-hour event.
And some of it has to be wedding focused. So
But what I'm thinking is, we front load that shit.
yeah, absolutely.
We
Really? You're starting with the live show?
No.
No, get the wedding crowd
Oh,
out of
yeah,
the way.
front load all that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's gonna take you because you're already married. What are you doing? Are you having a whole ceremony, or you're just
No, bro.
Hell
Well, we're not
no.
gonna completely.
His mom wanted us to reenact it. I was like, hell no. We're watching a video of the ceremony and doing a slideshow of the pictures, and that's what you get.
Maybe I'll put my suit on one more time if my fat ass fits.
Oh, shut up. You're fine, baby.
No, I actually lost a little bit, being like a machinist kind of like feel.
I had my biometric screening done today.
Yeah.
And then I actually, for some reason, I have a folder in my work bag, and in that folder I had last year's in there still. So I sat there and compared. I'm like, okay, I lost 3 pounds compared to last year. My blood pressure went way up, which is I got to look into that. But my
It's diet, bro.
my cholesterol is fine. It's pretty much even keel, even with what it was last year. But I think my LDLs were down by 0.5.
Yeah.
My HDLs were, which is the good one, LDL or HDL?
I'm terrible at that.
I can't remember.
Although, you know what, let's see, I think I know my sister and my mom both went into dealing with that shit.
Oh, really?
Let me
Yeah.
look it up.
I said fuck all that other shit. I just was like, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do, but I'm gonna do it my way. I did the Frank Sinatra shit completely through everything, which is kind of fucked up. But I guess I don't know. But at the event, I've been kind of thinking about what it's well, you do know you gotta say something, right, motherfucker? And it's well, yeah, motherfucker, you gotta say something to the people. But it's what the fuck are you gonna say?
Yeah.
And it's well, shit. Well, you could say this and then just keep it haha, and then be haha. Well, that's a John thing to do. No, this is for real, motherfucker. And what are you gonna do? And it's and I'm fuck. So now.
HDLs are the good ones.
I just looked it up too.
All right, good. So I was gonna say, did I buy y'all enough time to Google?
Yeah.
Jesus. How fast can y'all fingers work?
Well, I didn't want to interrupt.
I know.
Me neither. That's why I just held it.
Oh, I was just filling space
Oh.
because you don't want to fucking not have.
That's true.
But anywho. But those were the good ones. I haven't had a blood test in a while, so I probably should do that because, motherfuckers getting old. But I don't look old, which is fucked up. Because people are oh, you're this age. And I'm I wish, motherfucker. I wish. I was can you just give me that age back? That you just mentioned? Can I have that? Thank you. But honestly, think about it. I'm it's kind of like a marinade. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're still cooking. You know what I mean? You take that shit off the burner, and change up temperatures and shit too much. It's not going to be a good product in the end.
It depends.
You
got sometimes you change heat zones, you get that indirect heat.
Yeah. But, some people sear their shit.
Oh, yeah.
Others say fuck it. Just go for it.
Fuck it.
I say fuck it. Let God do what it do. What the fuck? Anyway. Music though, has come full circle again though, because finally got to work with Rob, and watching him and Ant working together it's just kind of funny.
Two different styles?
No, they mend each other's weaknesses well, which is hilarious to me. it's like, oh well, what you don't know, I know, and what
Well,
I
that's
want to,
great.
and I know that's what I mean. Like, and it's very rare, when you find that type of chemistry, with people where it's like, well, we know that shit works. You know what I mean? But watching the kind of the lightning in the bottle again, work, because when he joined Beneath the Dead Sky for a short amount of time. That was the best sounding that we ever had, like
With Rob.
with Rob. Yeah,
Of course. I mean,
there was allegedly there was a conversation, with because he was doing both, right? And one of our friends that was in a band with the initials GF told him, "You should probably play with this band," because I was like, "Oh shit, I never heard that."
that's cool.
But allegedly. Allegedly.
Who do you have on drums?
Right now?
Mm-hmm.
Computer?
Oh, cool.
Allegedly.
That's cool, though.
Allegedly.
Is that what you guys play along to at, like, rehearsal?
Yeah, we just click. Yeah, we just, like, click. Well, he's, right now at this point, we're just catching each other up to the material that we have. Because, we have material, but I didn't have enough computing space to kind of work with the drum programs and stuff that I need. Now, I can put some things together, but then that was like causing this thing to crash. And I was like, man, it's kind of like it's an ancient wheel, but it still does what it do. So I'm like, So it's like, but Rob's kind of treating his PC the same way. He just turns the internet on when he needs to update shit, and then turns it off, and he's mostly offline.
That's not a bad idea. I'm starting to put together a music space in my attic, and I have a computer set up. I need to get a whole bunch of stuff to, like, get it up to par. Like, I need to get the interface and all that.
Well,
But
I was going to say.
I downloaded Cakewalk. Cakewalk is pretty cool. There's a free version of it.
Yeah, Cakewalk for programming is pretty good. It's really easy, especially for MIDI, the MIDI programming part.
Basically, it gives you, like, when you sign in now, it's like, what are you trying to do? Like, you do a MIDI recording, you do a live recording, are you trying to, like, multi-track?
Yeah.
What are you trying to do? So, and then, so it kind of sets you up with some basic options to start with, and then the free version comes with a lot of shit. So,
Yeah.
if you're looking to upgrade your DAW, for recording purposes, I think you can find that one free.
Yeah, there's a few things that I'm going to be changing for the Devil's Den Radio 2.0 version.
Nice.
Because there's a few things. Obviously, the interface still does what it does, so. But I could always get the rack mount and justify selling that one. It's like I could always do that. Because I'm always trying to, like, consolidate the fucking space, and I think if I build, like, this area up here, and the main reason why I have this is so that I can try to treat it as, like, a rack mount, so I can just drill right into the side here.
It's cool that you have that extension that comes out of the desk for the board.
Yep, that's what I mean. I had visions for this, but I was like, I'll get to it when I get gooder shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say that computer tower is, like, taking up a lot of space.
Yeah, it's old as shit. It's Windows 7, my dude. Windows 7.
So the one that I just set up was one we got from Bonnie's uncle, who just builds computers for fun. And refurbishes computers for fun.
Okay.
The tower on it is smaller than that fucking interface.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, it's like the stand that the monitor comes on barely sits on top of, the actual computer itself. I'm like, holy shit, these things are tiny now.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of, the point that we're at, man. Microprocessing and everything.
Yeah.
It's like we're doing a lot of wild shit now. But honestly, I don't know. If, I think that more people should also adapt the idea, though, that if the wheel isn't, broken,
True.
don't fix it. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of, like, consumerist, ideals, in a sense.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if you got it like that, then by all means, go over to patreon.com/devilsdenradio and make a friendly donation. And you'll get reimbursed as well with wonderful gifts. But no, I wish I could just drop. But it's also like, where are things going? Because it's easy to go drop, but climate is fucked. So, in the sense of like keeping in mind, centered on, it's like, okay, well, I wished that I was blissfully ignorant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now it's like almost like a forced ignorance at times.
I understand what that's kind of like.
Where it's like,
It's kind of like just, nope, don't want nothing to do with it.
yeah, and,
You know?
and it's almost like what some people would probably like, well, are you taking a blind eye to something? It's like,
No, just don't want to get
no.
engaged.
Just not really trying to get involved with shit like that no more, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I have fun. And it was just not so angry anymore.
I've calmed down quite a bit over the years. I wasn't angry, though. I was just, like, wild.
But
Hyper.
I still like heavy music. Even though I'm not angry as fuck. But even though, like, when I was in the band at its, like, height, which if you're on Patreon, you got a free access to the Communion EP from Beneath the Dead Sky. So you can download it completely and listen to it at your own leisure.
Sure.
Right? You like that?
Yeah, it's funny.
Good. So, but no, at the height of that, man, I was always chill, in my opinion, because, like, between it was just like, I was the young kid in the fucking group. There was like a 4 to 5 year gap between.
You were like
most
Bob,
members.
the Bob Weir.
Yeah.
Bob Weir was like the 17-year-old kid. Everybody else was like in there.
Yeah, that's why when I was
His nickname was the Kid.
Yeah, that's why when I watched it, I was like, wow, you know what I mean? I made a direct correlation to, like, wow, that's like kind of very similar to, like, kind of like not like completely being hazed, but like, yeah, like that, being that gap.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Even though it's a small gap, it
felt bigger back then.
Sometimes it feels well.
Age gaps to kids and people like I think up to the age of like 20, really. Once you're old enough to drink, then it doesn't fucking matter how old you are.
Yeah. Yeah, once you're that old, it's just like, whatever. Can you play?
You can get into the bar. That's all. That's good.
Yeah. Well, in most states, you can get in because of performers' laws, and sometimes when they would find out I was underage and shit, there was only like maybe like 1 or 2 places that were like really like.
Erica's the only place I had to get wristbanded for.
I always had to get fucking X'd. I had the big X's on my hands. Yep. I played the Poor Man's Pub a bunch of times.
Oh, yeah, I know that place.
In Manville.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shout out to that place. Because, fuck, man, we played there at least, I would say at least 3 times.
Okay.
One time, it actually was one of the times that I actually re-aggravated a knee injury that I had.
Oh, that sucks.
Because of a drunk bitch that backed into Ant's car. And I was sitting behind him, and she hit me. Like, she hit me. Like, she literally hit me. Like, I was sitting there, and it was just like, dunk, and it, like, pushed my knee into my other knee. That's how hard she hit his car. Backing up. I was like, wow.
She must have been shit-faced.
Way.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. But the fucking bouncers told us that we were not coming in unless they just let her go.
What do you mean?
The bouncer.
Oh, like let her go home and get out of here, otherwise you guys can't come in?
Correct.
They must have known her.
Yes.
All right.
And thinking back to it, right? If you were that fucked up, right? You know, what's your responsibility as the server? You know, or the establishment.
Oh yeah, you could be held liable.
So that's, you know, so they were like, no.
Yeah, no, that's a bad idea. I mean, we had, I don't know, I'm sure bars do this, maybe not every bar, but the one I did, we were lectured about, you know, don't fuck us because, you know, someone's too drunk to drive. Like, cut people off. Like, don't gauge. We actually had to do training so we could learn how to gauge how drunk people were. And then we had, like, codes that we would, like, signal to other bartenders about, you know, if that person tried to order a drink, we would, like, stand behind him and hold up a number. And that number, like, showed how drunk they were. And basically a 4 was like, he shouldn't even be in here. If he's asking for another drink, you should probably give him a water. If he doesn't want it, tell him to leave. 3's probably a little bit less than that. Like, it should be his last drink, you know. 1 or 2 we really don't care about. But that was because you're responsible. If they leave that bar, kill somebody, they find out you were there, the establishment's in trouble. If you're the only bartender working, it's easy to say, well, it was absolutely 100% you that did it, you know?
Yeah, I can understand that. What are you thinking, Soul?
The drunk driving shit is terrible, but yeah, I mean, if you visibly see someone drunk and you continue to serve them, like, it's definitely on your hands as the bartender. Like, you're the responsible.
Yep.
To, like, make decisions.
No, it's almost impossible to really truly know how drunk everybody is. So you're looking for certain things.
Like, falling over.
Check your links.
You know, you see someone get up to go to the bathroom and they, like, almost fall over, and then you're like, yeah, sure, here's another beer.
I've had to cut off people before.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Probably about 4 or 5 times I think I've had to do it. And some people take it, others like really, you know, actually no drunk person really wants to be told they can't have a drink. But that's what bouncers are for. Big Bill. I remember Big Bill. He had my back.
Yeah, bouncers are there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's about that time.
All right.
Which it's kind of interesting because it feels like it's like an early night, right? But no, we've given you an hour of content.
It's true. It's that time of year where it's like daylight.
Yeah, so it's confusing.
Yeah.
It's confussing.
Mm-hmm.
It
It feels like it's like 6 o'clock, but it's after 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once again, you know, let's give ourselves, all right, let's give ourselves a little golf clap for not mentioning the fucking F word. All right.
We did.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
All right, quick. Let's get out of here before it comes out.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, so we didn't say the fucking F word. No mentions. All right. If you know the show, this is.
Listen to the next one to figure out what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen. All right. No. So, go to patreon.com/devilsdenradio. Take stock in the show. $2, $5, whatever you got. You know, we'll give you something back. You know, which is more in value than what you're going to be able to do for this show, which I think a little bit goes a long way. You know, so it will also help build this 2.0 a lot quicker. A lot quicker. Need it to be quicker. We all need it to be quicker. See? That's why. Anyway. Anywho, thank you, Shane. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, VeganJosh. See some of you soon. Stay tuned for new music from Mike, Frank, and Friends. Because, studio time, you know, which, I looked into the studio. Looks very nice.
Yeah. You saw that studio?
It looks nice.
Oh,
Yeah, so
it's nice.
I was gonna say definitely. I was like,
I know we're trying to end the show, but quick story about how we got looped in with that.
All right.
You heard the
You
story.
already heard the
You heard the
story,
story.
yeah.
All right, never mind.
I was gonna say, what?
Yeah, I'm very excited. They have a music store downstairs. They let us use any instrument we want from that music store. Last time we used a 6-string banjo. It was strung up like a guitar, but it was a banjo. Franco has that on our last album. He's like, you could hear it tucked in there. He had to use it. Anyway, story for another time.
Banjo session next week, and
Gatanjo or something.
Yeah. Well, that
Banjitar. That's what they called it.
Banjitar.
Yeah, stupid name.
That's an interesting name for that. But yeah, I could see that actually working in a lot different applications, which I have an idea for that then. For the banjo guitar. All right. So anyway, before we go on to a side tangent and do what we usually do on this show, I'm going to say stay metal.
Be metal.
Zygo.